Hey everyone, Leigh here from Martinuzzi Property Group with my weekly real estate market update. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Guys, in this week's blog, I talk about why we shouldn't panic about the current changing conditions in the property market. I know if you're looking at the news right now, the news headlines, doom and gloom, further price drops. And look, a lot of the experts are saying that we will see price decreases in property prices across Australia for the financial year until June 2023, down by 13%, and potentially from here till the end of the year, another 7%, or maybe 10% even for some areas. So, look, we do expect the property market prices to stabilise at some stage this year. However, don't believe everything you read, because if you listen to the media, they would have got it wrong back in 2020 as well, when they thought the COVID pandemic was going to crash everything, and certainly it did exactly the opposite. Property prices went through the roof. Now, if you're optimistic and you like the idea of historic charts, there are historic property price charts that track the markets over the history of 140 years, which suggests that property cycles move in about 18.6 years, which would indicate that we've got a few more years potentially of growth from here until about 2025, 2026. Now, I did put a little bit of a snippet in my blog. I'm going to write about that again next week as well, because I find it quite interesting. So you just don't know what the market's going to do right now, and I don't think it's time to panic. Look, certainly if you bought late 2021, early 2022, and you're looking to sell now, you're probably not going to realize the difference between what you paid for and what you're going to sell for. But most people wouldn't be in that boat. Actually, most people that bought within that period probably make up 1.3% of the population, or the purchasing population anyway. So a very small amount of numbers. Most people buy property to stay there for the long term. So for the next 10 years, and history shows us that property prices in Australia at least continue to climb. So the short-term mentality of doom and gloom, I think we shouldn't panic about it, because most likely a lot of us that are doing moves now for changed circumstances, downsizing, upsizing, moving for work, whatever it might be, you're actually going to be doing it after probably a long period in your current home. And we do know the market rose, upwards of 40% here on the Sunshine Coast, and has only dropped about 7% or so. Regional areas certainly less impact than our capital cities as well. So the long-term game, guys, property prices always move up, and I don't think that's reason to panic. Also, if we look at the downward trajectory, we have had a rapid decrease in property values, one of the quickest on record. And our downward decline of property prices in Australia sort of lines up with that back in 2008. However, back in 2008, and I wasn't in the market then as a property agent, but I was told by people that were in the market, when the GFC was announced, it just died, which is not the case right now. We're seeing a lot of buyer numbers out in the marketplace right now, and we're still seeing a lot of property sellers looking to come on the market as well. Whilst there is economic uncertainty, a lot of people will sit on the fence in regards to making major financial decisions. However, at some stage, that's going to keep moving, because people have to move and people have to buy properties and live somewhere. So we're going to expect that flurry of activity to, at some stage, I think anyway, come back into force into the marketplace, whether that's mid-year or maybe even later in the year as well. But don't be caught off guard, because it's still going to move forward. And we're not in a recession. We don't have the GFC. Yes, the property market is correcting itself right now. But look at all the economic statistics out there. Unemployment rate's really good. There's a lack of staff for most industries, so employment rate and job security is generally quite good as well. We've got a lot of immigration coming back into Australia as well, so that's going to bring up the demand for properties, both rentals and purchasing properties as well in Australia. So guys, I don't think it's need to panic. If there is any discussion points around you buying or selling right now, give me a call. I'd love to have a chat with you. MPG with you all the way.